We were already a good business, we were already doing 7 figures annually. But yeah, last year, December, we were about 300% up year on year. And this year, we're 200% up year on year again already. So we're growing very, very well.
Meet Ollie, a marketing agency millionaire that you've probably never heard of. He sold his first business for over 7 figures before starting ConversionWise, a conversion rate optimization marketing agency that now does over $3 million a year. And the crazy thing is, they've grown this agency without paid ads and without cold outreach. And I've been lucky enough to sit down with Ollie for over an hour and ask all the burning questions that we want to ask, such as how he got his first 10 clients, how he'd start from scratch today, how to hire your first employees, and how to find a mentor. The first question I asked him was his number 1 recommendation for those starting out from scratch today. And here's what he had to say.
One little tip, I guess, if people are starting their journey, there's one book that I remember telling Sam several years ago to read that I tell everyone who asks my opinion and advice to read, which is Key Person of Influence by Daniel Priestley. I think it's a must read for people starting in business. And the whole concept of Key Person of Influence is marketing yourself or becoming so obsessed with one thing that whenever someone in that space thinks of that one thing, they think of you.
This concept of becoming a KPI or a key person of influence was created by the author and entrepreneur Daniel Priestley. The meaning that I took from this is that you don't need to be a massive influencer with millions of followers to be financially successful. You just need to become the girl or guy within your chosen sector.
Your 1,000 true fans is way better than 100,000 unengaged followers. So I think in the days now of TikTok and virality, people come fixated with a number. It's all about, this video didn't get 500,000 views. Oh, I haven't got 10,000 followers. You don't need that. Even to date, we've only still got 7,000 followers on YouTube, but we've done probably 2 million quid's worth of business through YouTube. You just need a core following of people who see you as an authority and trust you.
So with that being said, how do you actually make your marketing agency stand out in a crowded marketplace? I asked Ollie that exact question, but not about how he does it now with thousands of followers and hundreds of online reviews, but how they did that when they first started, when they had 0 customers and no online reputation.
If you're a web design agency and you're especially new, you're not going to stand out. There's millions, hundreds of thousands in the UK that do it way better than us. But what we were able to do is literally do what it says on the tin. We named ourselves the landing page guys, and I got fixated, and I am still unhealthily obsessed with becoming the go-to and person that everyone thinks about when they say landing pages or CRO, that we literally did what it says on the tin. Whenever someone thought of landing page guys, it was a natural fit.
I see this a lot now. People starting marketing agencies and calling it something like Next Level Marketing or Rocket Digital or some kind of name that has no relevance to what they do or who for. This concept of does what it says on the tin is to name and brand your agency completely around what you do and who for. This not only helps people understand what you do, but it also gives you more authority within your chosen sector. After this, we then went on to talk about client acquisition, and I asked Ollie what marketing channels he recommends for beginners.
What I would do is I would pick 1 or 2 channels that you think you are good at. So if you're introverted, probably being on camera is not going to suit you. So maybe steer clear of YouTube for now. Maybe pick something like Twitter long form posts. Maybe it's then repurposed onto LinkedIn in a carousel. But stick to 1 or 2 things. Stick to a topic or a subject that you think you are passionate about and very good at, and that you can sell a service or something on the back of, and just start dripping content. You'll be amazed at how, if your content's decent and you do there's a little bit of growth hacking in between these things, a few little auto DM campaigns or like and share this, etc. But once you get that audience, the people who don't make it or who will fail are the people who aren't consistent.
When I first started out 6 years ago, I chose Facebook. This was not only the platform that I knew and understood, but it was also the channel that my target demographic spent a lot of time using. So I would post free content regularly in other Facebook groups around my chosen niche without ever asking for or selling anything. And that would then lead to organic DMs, people commenting on my posts and friending me on Facebook, which ultimately led to more sales calls, more clients, and more revenue for my agency. So when you're first starting out, stick to one channel that not only are you good at, but also a channel where where your target demographic spends the most time.
You can give pretty much 90% of what you do away for free. That's a really good lead magnet. People will trust you. They'll probably try it, but they're not you. They're not your team. They don't have your processes. They don't have your success rate. They're not as good as you. So 9 times out of 10, what happens is people don't get the results, or they're too lazy, and that's just human nature, to fulfill it themselves, or too busy to fulfill it themselves. So they'll come back and hire you.
A lot of people will try to gatekeep their best stuff, but this isn't how you win the game. If you want to become a key person of influence within your sector, you need to give away as much as possible without expecting anything in return. Provide true value to your followers. And then when they're ready to hire somebody, it will be a no-brainer to come to you. A bit like me. You can watch all of these videos and implement all the stuff I'm teaching you completely free. But if you want one-on-one help with myself, then you can join my school group via the link in the description. I've consolidated all of my stuff into easy to follow step-by-step courses, as well as coaching from me directly to help guarantee your success. Click the link down below to join, as the price will be going up very soon. Right, back to the video. I now go on to ask Ollie what his recommendation would be when hiring your first employee. And this is what he said.
I think that's one thing that a lot of people struggle with, and I'm sure we did, is like, can I afford staff? Can I afford a team? It's a big commitment. I think the easiest way to do that first and foremost is via freelancers. So utilizing overseas hires, because you don't have to pay the tax, you don't have to pay the national insurance, you don't have to do pension contributions. If you're hiring overseas, it's pretty much just a fixed monthly fee. And talent these days is in abundance and it's cheap. So, you know, for your assistants, for your account managers, your VAs, you know, $1,200 per month is going to get you someone very qualified and good.
It's easier now than it ever has been to hire overseas contractors. If you live in the UK, Europe, or the United States, it can cost you thousands and thousands of pounds to hire people locally. Not to mention all the tax implications and other costs associated with hiring people in your local country. Whereas you can hire from Asia or South America for a fraction of the cost. And these people are extremely talented. But once we know that, how do we then go about deciding what role to hire for and how to train up these contractors?
Just go through a whole week. It's an annoying exercise, but it's worth it. Go through a whole week, and every time you do an activity, have a spreadsheet and say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and write down what that activity was. What was it? How long did it take you? And you'll start seeing repeating patterns. You'll start seeing that you, again, it's very broad because I don't know what businesses people are doing, but like you'll start seeing that like between 8 and 9 every morning, you're checking your email. In the afternoon, between this and this, you're doing account management. Here, you're doing a bit of design work. Here, you're looking at your development side of things. You'll start seeing these patterns, and all of a sudden, you can then itemize those patterns into specific roles. And then all I would do is take those things. It's very cheesy, but create SOPs. So create processes for each and every one of the things. You literally sit down, and if I'm going to do a specific role within my day-to-day, I record it on Loom, I talk through it, what I'm doing, and you put it into a Google Drive, and you say, this is how you do this, this is how I do this. So all of a sudden, you will have, 70% of your workload, you probably will be able to hand off to someone else. Yes, it's going to cost me money, and the margin on my business is going to become less, but imagine what you can fucking do with 70% more of your time.
I've been lucky enough to have some amazing mentors over the years, one of them being Ollie. Ollie actually mentored us in the early days and helped us grow the business to £50,000 and more per month within the first year of working with him. So having mentors is obviously hugely important, but how can you go about finding a mentor? Here's Ollie's advice.
What you need to do with a mentor is find someone who's in a position you want to be in, because what they'll typically do is save you a lot of money, a lot of heartache, and they'll allow you to do it a lot quicker. What I would say is, if you're reaching out to people, just have the courtesy. And again, me and Sam were together last week, and we had a beer, and we talked about this. But the one biggest thing I hate, because I get asked quite a lot of questions and can you mentor me, etc., is when people just think it's a given for them that I'm just going to say yes. So it's just being polite. Like, I know I'm probably old school sounding here, but like, if you're going to inbox someone and ask if they mentor you, or ask them a question, or ask them to jump on a quick 30-minute call, just have the decency to say, I hope you don't mind me asking, I know you're busy, but is there any chance that you can do this? Offer to pay them. I've been offered to pay, people have offered to pay me for advice a lot of times. I've never once taken any money, but it's the fact that they've had the decency to do that is where I will probably reply to that message, versus someone who just goes, how did you build a 7-figure agency? Can you tell me?
So if you want to check out Ollie, he recently launched a new YouTube channel, which is going to be posting a lot of content on very soon. So I will leave a link to that in the description down below. Otherwise, make sure that you check the description for all of my free resources, and drop a like to the video if you enjoyed it. And of course, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on future uploads. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video.